All right, let's get right into it. What if I told you that most companies, maybe even yours, are losing millions of dollars from a problem they can't even see? Seriously, it's not their ads, it's not their website, it's not their pricing. It's a silent conversion killer, and it's operating in the blind spots of their customer journey. Look at that number. $14.7 million. That's not some made-up figure. According to enterprise analysis, that's the average annual loss companies are facing because of these unidentified failures. So, this isn't just a small leak in the bucket. It is a massive hidden hole draining revenue right out from under them. So, what is the actual culprit here? They're called hidden touchpoints. Now, these aren't the big, flashy problems you'd normally look for. No. These are the subtle, unmonitored moments, the little gaps in communication, the slight inconsistencies that just add up. They erode customer confidence and quietly kill conversions before you even realize anything went wrong. Think of it like a giant iceberg. Most companies spend a fortune optimizing what's above the surface, right? Things like website speed, ad copy, the checkout process. But the real damage, the stuff that sinks the ship, is happening below the waterline. We're talking about those hidden touchpoints, the weird timing of an automated email, a clumsy handoff between your own teams, or a confusing third-party tool. And this brings us to the absolute core of the problem. You see, companies think they have the full picture. They think they know the path. But their map of the customer journey, it's just wrong. And this is where the most dangerous assumptions are being made. I mean, this should look pretty familiar, right? A nice, clean, logical progression from A to B to C. This is that official customer journey map you see hanging on office walls everywhere. But here's the problem with it. It's a fantasy. It's what we wish would happen, and it's missing the messiest, most important parts. And that right there is the key. Believing that your neat, tidy little map actually represents reality, that is the single most dangerous assumption you can possibly make. It creates a massive blind spot where good leads and potential conversions just go to die. Let me give you a real-world example. Take the story of David Chen's marketing automation company. His team was brilliant, meticulous. They mapped out and optimized 47 different touchpoints. 47! But their conversion rate was just stuck, a frustrating 2.8%. Why? Because they were polishing all the visible parts of the journey, while the invisible parts were completely falling apart. So why do these maps fail so badly? Well, it really boils down to a few key things. First, you've got departmental silos. Marketing has no idea what sales is really doing. Then you have these temporal gaps, these silent periods where customer momentum just vanishes. And on top of that, you have channel blindness and a whole lot of internal bias, which means the map shows where you want customers to go, not where they're actually going. Okay, so now that we understand the problem, let's meet the villains of our story. We're going to pull back the curtain and unmask the 3 most common and damaging hidden touch points that are probably killing your conversions as we speak. First up, we have the post-demo silence. Oh man, this one is huge. Picture this. You have a fantastic sales demo. The prospect is excited, they're nodding along, they're engaged, and then nothing. Crickets. Days go by with zero follow-up, and all that initial excitement, all that momentum, poof, gone. And the damage is direct and it is immediate. During that average 5-day gap of silence, a staggering 45% of prospects start actively researching your competitors. You've literally warmed them up for someone else to swoop in and close the deal. It's painful. All right, let's talk about our next culprit, internal handoff failures. This is all about what's happening behind the scenes, It's when marketing passes a lead to sales, or when sales passes a new customer over to the success team. If that process is slow, or if key information gets lost in translation, the customer feels it. They feel it as confusion, as delay, as friction. The impact is just brutal. One company we looked at found that a simple 3-day delay in their marketing to sales handoff cost 31% of their hot leads to go completely cold. These were qualified, interested buyers, just lost to internal inefficiency. And our third killer is information inconsistency. This happens when a prospect hears one thing from a marketing email, then something totally different from a sales rep, and then something else again on your website. It creates confusion, sure, but worse than that, it completely destroys trust. And what's the result of that distrust? Well, one analysis found that 34%, a third of prospects, were forced to schedule extra clarification meetings just to figure out what was actually true. This doesn't just slow down your sales cycle, it actively introduces doubt at the most critical stage. So we've identified the killers. The big question is, how do you find them in your own business? You can't just rely on customer surveys. That won't cut it. You have to become a detective. And for that, there's a systematic approach called the Insight Framework. It's basically a toolkit for finding the truth. The Insight Framework really just gives you a roadmap. It's about auditing your internal processes, analyzing real customer navigation paths, coordinating stakeholder communication, and checking your technology integrations. Then you look for gaps in time, understand the very human, emotional side of the journey, and finally use technology to monitor everything. It's a systematic way to see what's really going on. Now for the best part. This isn't some year-long theoretical exercise. No, this framework can actually be put into practice to deliver measurable results in just 90 days. So let's look at what that path to transformation actually looks like. The plan is broken down into 3 super clear phases. The first month, days 1 through 30, is all about discovery and detection, using that Insight Framework to find your blind spots. The second month is for implementation and testing your fixes. And then the final month is for measuring the impact and scaling up what works. It's focused, it's manageable, and it gets results. And what's the payoff? I mean, just look at these numbers. Companies that follow this 90-day plan typically see a 35 to 75% increase in their conversion rate. And at the same time, their customer acquisition costs drop and the sales cycle gets way, way shorter. These are absolutely game-changing results. So what's the ultimate takeaway from all of this? It's really this simple. The success of your customer journey isn't just determined by the things you obsessively track and monitor. It's often decided by the invisible interactions you've been completely ignoring. The touchpoints you can't see are often more important than the ones you can. And that really leaves us with one final critical question to think about. Now that you know what to look for, what blind spots are hiding in your customer journey, and how much are they really costing you every single day?